Hi, my name is Max and welcome to my first YouTube video. I spend a lot of time on a daily basis with healthcare professionals and I decided it's time to share that experience with a broader audience. So join me on a trip to Riga, the capital of Christmas tree, where we're going to meet Julia. Julia is a neurosurgeon, petrolhead and she loves animals. Join me on a journey and spending the whole day together with her in seeing what was her motivation and what keep her happy during their daily life. Julia, welcome and thank you for having you as a guest here.
Thank you for an invitation.
Yeah, it's a full pleasure for me. First question I would like to ask you is, what actually motivates you when you were a teenager or then a student to become a neurosurgeon?
I didn't thought about medicine during my secondary school, and actually I didn't know what to do after school. Maybe I wanted to become a journalist, maybe a lawyer or something. I wanted to be rich. So one day when my dad had this aneurysm rupture and was in the hospital, I decided that I will become a neurosurgeon and never changed my mind and become a neurosurgeon.
It's a great story.
Yeah, it wasn't so great during that period when he was in the hospital. But now, it's like everything happens on purpose. And he's very proud that he showed the way to me what to do in my life.
After neurosurgery and dogs, cars.
Sleeping? No, spending time with my family, traveling, doing some sport.
You are one of the youngest neurosurgeons in the country.
Yes, one of. Two of my colleagues ended the residency this year, 1 month ago.
Do you remember your first surgery?
Yes, my very first surgery was in the small regional hospital on my third year of the medical school. It was a chronic subdural hematoma. You know, it's when you're a third-year student, it's a very important surgery for you.
How it is to live and work in Latvia, in Riga?
I can tell it's great because I never wanted to go somewhere to work. I always wanted to stay in Riga and to do all I can in Riga because I think it's the most beautiful country, the most beautiful city, so I think it's the best place for me.
So what are the best skills and qualities you need to have to become a good neurosurgeon?
I think the best quality you must need is your will to work, because the neurosurgery is the specialty when you need to work all the time and you must be ready to do it all the time.
So in your opinion, it's rather to be really persistent. I've heard it once from someone who told me that if you want to become a professor, you're not necessarily going to be the smartest one, but the one who is like really persistent on the tasks.
Yeah, if you are working hard enough, I think you can do everything. If you are very talented in what you're doing, you can do it with less energy.
So work hard, party hard. Do neurosurgeons party hard?
Sometimes. I think when we are partying hard. It's happening very rare actually.
So how it is to be a woman in neurosurgery?
I think it's cool when you're young, pretty beautiful and pretty smart woman and you're doing a very cool job, have many friends, good colleagues. And it's very good to be a woman in neurosurgery. I like it. I never wanted to change it, and I think I never leave my work actually to do something else.
What is in your opinion the future of neurosurgery?
I think there will be more women because I'm happy that women now are choosing to do surgical specialties.
What about robotics and AI?
No, I don't think that it will dominate. I think we need human hands and human mind during the surgery. Of course it can help, like it's doing now. I think the main character of the neurosurgery will be a surgeon. Let's go.
So this is how you spend your free time?
It's the best way to relax actually, to spend time with him, because he's very, very positive, small guy.
How you deal with the winter time in the Baltics?
You know, last year it wasn't so cold, and when you're working all the time you don't feel the winter.
And what about the darkness?
Yeah, it's pretty depressive. But you know, we have a snow sometimes, and when we have a snow it's very good. The Riga is looking very beautiful during the white winter actually. So that's how we are walking, we're just sniffing everything. I'm giving him opportunity to spend our walk how he wants it. So here it's allowing me to work all the other time. At the beginning when he was small, there was some problem that I'm not all the time at home at night and he was waiting for me. But now he knows how to live without me. But of course he's happy when I'm home.
If someone wants to come to Riga in winter, where he should go?
I think he should go to the old city, to Jurmala, to Sigulda. Sea is beautiful on the summer, but for me maybe it's more beautiful during the winter when you see all this ice, the cold water, sometimes snow and sand together. So this is the main building of the Latvian University, but I wasn't studied here. I studied in Riga University. When I needed to decide in which university to study, we had that university open door days. I went to the Latvian university and I understood that I don't want to spend my 6 years there.
Perfect advertisement for the field.
Yeah, but I went to the Riga University and from that day I understood that I want to study there. It was a connection.
So what kind of advice would you give to young people who are deciding now about their future so that they can also live their happy life?
I think you need to understand and choose to do in your life what is going with yourself, with your mental comfortable state. You must believe in yourself. If you're afraid to do something just because you don't see the way how you're doing it, that means that you must do it. I didn't believe in the beginning of my journey that I will be here where I am now.
Where you want to be in 5 years?
I want to be here in Riga. I still want to be happy. Neurosurgeon, doing my work 5 days a week. I want to spend all the nights in my bed. This is part of my happy life. That all the people who is now around me and near to me will be with me in 5 years. At work, at home, and this guy must be with me in 5 years. So of course I hope that I will have my PhD in 5 years, performing cool surgeries, being a PhD and living my coolest life.
How you deal with mortality in neurosurgery?
It's not easy. Mostly I'm happy that we don't see this mortality as much as maybe all oncologists or other. But of course, yes, we understand what can happen and what will happen in bad cases. I think I remember many of the people who went away in our department. We are really fighting for the people and for the health. Sometimes you can't do anything. It's very hard.
What is your main motivation in your job?
When you see that the patient is feeling better and better and better after what have you done. It's the happiest feeling when you're going to work and see how the patient who wasn't walked yesterday are staying on his legs, for example, next day. And the most important part, I'm really afraid of the patient who is telling me, you know, I'm really afraid, I don't want this surgery, and the patient sitting on the bed and crying, and it's like, oh no, please believe in me, please believe in yourself, and please believe in what we are doing, because it's the main important thing.
What was the longest surgery you had so far?
13 hours.
Wow.
But normally it's like if you're doing spine, 1 hour surgery, for brain, a few hour surgeries. I really like to do these complicated cases. I like this feeling that I'm going a little bit up my surgical level during these surgeries. It's very important for a surgeon actually to do more complicated surgeries. It's how you're growing.
What about mentorship?
Mentorship is very important. I have a very good experience with my mentor. I hope that I will be such friendly mentor for my future guys that they will not be afraid to call me during the night and ask the stupid questions actually. If you need to ask someone about the treatment strategy or something about medicine, there is no stupid questions.
If you could tell like 2 names globally, who's your neurosurgeon that you adore the most?
Totally, it's my boss, it's my mentor, it's Egils Valens, and the second one, Peter Vekotsi, because I think he's a genius in neurosurgery. So for me, these 2 surgeons are the best surgeons. We already had the morning round, now some paperwork, and after a short time for breakfast, and we'll wait to the surgery.
Yeah, happy to see you in action.
Today it's maybe not the most beautiful surgery. We have a glioblastoma in the right hemisphere, and the patient already has the 3rd surgery in 3 months, so we will try to help him before the radiation therapy.
I think this is another thing that people don't realize when you work in a hospital, that you need to walk a lot. You know, you walk from one building to another, and there is never a shortage between.
Yeah, so you can skip the gym someday. We're going to Jurmala. It's my favorite city next to Riga. It's just 15 minutes drive. It's the city near sea. I'm planning to live someday there. I think I will have a flat in Riga and maybe a house or maybe a flat in Jurmala. It's very cool, for example, for summer. It's a good weather, you're going to swim. The surgery went well. You had the swim in the not so warm Baltic Sea. It's very cool, yeah.
Experience. Talk about resting. How long needs a brain to rest?
For a day.
For a day.
Yeah, it's okay with the night. It's very important to have a good quality of your sleep, so your brain are resting.
What talents you need to have to be a good surgeon?
Good hands, calm mind, will to work, because I think it's also a talent to have a will to work. Shaking hands is just an emotion, so you need to learn how to not allow emotions to be on the first place. You can allow your emotions after the surgery and for a few minutes for some time, but not during the surgery, no. It's our concert hall, one of the most popular. During the summer, I think the best concerts are happening here in Jurmo.
Okay.
You know, sometimes when you're working all the time with the people, you want to go somewhere without people and just think about what you did. This opportunity to have a 10 minutes drive from work.
Yeah, that's absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, it's helping me to live better, actually, I think.
Healthier.
Mentally, definitely. And physically too, you can just walk near the sea, breathe the good air. I can recommend it to everyone.
What are your thoughts before you go to surgery?
You know, before the surgery, while the scrub nurse are preparing the surgical field, I'm just sitting and thinking about the surgery. Maybe I'm thinking about something unstressful, actually. It's not like when you're going outside the hospital, you're not thinking about your patients or how it was or how it will be. For example, if you have some interesting case tomorrow, a few days before, I can watch videos on YouTube, I can see the books or Google something about some steps during the surgery, and actually I found some of the answers on the YouTube. Yeah, it's cool that you can find it.
When you operate on the brain and you take some parts of the brain out,
I'm not taking the parts of the brain out, I'm taking the pathology out.
you mixed up something. All the people change their personality.
Brain surgery, something can be changed in the personality. You must ask the patient family about this, because they are the only people
They know
who
the
understand.
personality, yeah.
For example, for my dad, of course, I've seen some changes because it was a very hard pathology, a hard period, and big damage of the brain. But yeah, of course, it's changed in some ways, but no, he's still my dad, like I know from my childhood. Yeah. He's a pretty young man. He's 53 years old. He has no neurological deficit and very big tumor, which is regrowing in a month. And we are not able to start the radiation therapy. And so now plan is to resect the tumor, trying to start the radiation next week just to win some time.
I think this is also part of a neurosurgery. Sometimes it's not about healing.
Yeah, to give patients some time. And I think it's very important you can give time. I'm opening the wound and skeletizing the bone to remove the previous surgery cranial fixes. Usually, if you're doing it for the first time, I think that you can spend 15-20 minutes to go to the brain. But in this case, we already did it before. In the previous surgeries, we need just 5 minutes to start the surgery.
And you have a very good-looking assistant.
Yeah, I know. He's a very talented surgeon.
That's why we use masks, so you can hide the blushing.
It's Santa. It's our scrub nurse.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
She's also
Mateusz.
very young. She's studying in the university in Moscow. And Christoph is a fourth-year resident.
What makes a good resident?
The good resident is ready to work more than he's attendee. He needs to work to learn to do some big part of a job which the attendees don't want to do maybe. They have their own job, and of course, for example, if you have some emergency cases, he will go after his work times. But I think it's very important to be not only a good colleagues, but also to be a good friends. I think it's easier when you are similar-minded people. You just need to do your work, and your work will bring you where you belong. We are ready to work all the time, actually. The last time I talked with my boss and asked what to do, because you know it's very aggressive, and mostly everyone will tell that there is no benefit to operate him. I think it's the most important thing when you have a boss who is ready to fight for the patients, because you know when you are young you understand that maybe you do not know where to stop sometimes. That's why you need more experienced colleagues, and I'm very happy that my boss, he wants to fight for the people as much as I am.
I'm grateful on behalf of all the citizens of Latvia.